Welcome to the Unbreakable Mind and Body podcast. I am your host, Tiana Gonzalez, a multi-passionate creative, storyteller, and entrepreneur with a fierce love for movement. This is our space for powerful stories and actionable strategies to help you build mental resilience and elevate your self-care practice. Together, we will unlock the tools that you need to create an unbreakable mind and body. Welcome back to the show. My name is Tiana. I'm coming to you still from my studio apartment in the suburbs of New York City, but we are changing up the scenery just a little bit. Now, remember, I'm new to video podcasting, so I'm asking you to bear with me. And, you're going through the process with me. This is a let's pull the curtain back kind of a deal. The reason why I am sharing this with you is because I actually do have people that I know in real life who approach me and will ask me for tips and tricks and any ideas and suggestions on how to start their own podcast or content creation. Now, I'm not somebody who goes viral often, and I will say virality is actually not a good thing because more often than not, if you put out a piece of content or a body of work and it goes viral and it's not your norm, you end up attracting thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people who are expecting more of what that viral piece of work is. And if that's not your usual, they're going to start either commenting rudely or sending you messages, giving their opinions that are unsolicited, and also probably unfollowing you. So just as quickly as you will have this big splash, you will also crash and lose it. I have one, maybe two pieces of content that have gone viral for me. And lucky for me, they were a part of my genre, a part of my niche, very much my personality. So any new people that came into my ecosystem, into my world, they are still getting more of the same. But I've done this for a very long time. As in, there was a point in time where I was pumping out anywhere from 5 to 15 pieces of content per day. Now, not all of it original. Many times I would create a video that was long form and then splice it up, dice it up, and reformat depending on the platform that I was posting it on. I used to use an AI platform called Jarvis, which I'm sure a lot of my entrepreneurs watching are familiar with that platform. It is an AI platform that just helps you stay organized and create content in a way that makes sense for your brand, for your niche, and what you're looking to accomplish. So you would input what the desired outcome is, and then it would steer you in the right direction. Now, we're doing this pull back the curtain episode because I want to share something that's really interesting about this whole experience. When I moved into this apartment, which was in the fall of 2021, my plan was to do a ton of content creation right here in this corner. And I did. And I painted this wall blue. Now you can't see the top, but the trim is very uneven. And I did it myself. And when people come over, sometimes they laugh about my subpar painting skills, but whatever. I still think it's a beautiful color. And my best friend gave me that painting and he hung it up for me. And we're going to try this because I enjoy creating right out of my home base. I love having a little bit of a more organic feel and not necessarily where I have to go to a studio, rent a studio, and give you this highly polished body of work. Now, I'm not opposed to that at all. I do professional photos, and then I also take my own with my iPhone. I'll have professional videos, and then I'll also take B-roll content or, film myself in the gym at a very unflattering angle with people in the background and noise and conversation. And, you want to be able to be diverse. But here's the thing. When you're just getting started, a lot of times you're going to do things with the intent to follow through on a plan, and maybe there will be a roadblock placed in your way, or you'll get distracted, or you'll try it and you just won't enjoy it and you'll say, forget it. Now I'm going to tell you about some of the projects that I have done right out of this studio apartment. Not only hosted live launches, I've hosted seminars, workshops, I have taught dance classes, live stream dance classes right after the pandemic. I have also, been a part of courses, seminars, workshops as a student with the camera on. And of course, I podcast out of here. Up until a few weeks ago, the podcast was solely audio, so I could basically do it wherever. I have headphones, I have a mic, I have a very easy setup. I was doing some editing of my episodes and then realized, similar to the way that I am, I don't want necessarily all of my work to be perfect and curated. There's something to be said for catching an organic moment. There are even features in the software that I'm using currently where you can remove the pauses, remove the filler words, shorten up the gaps where people are thinking. And I actually believe that that takes away from the emotion, and that can, when you're constantly snipping and cutting, you take away the pause. And there's a lot of power in the pause. There's a lot of power in taking your time when you're speaking. There's a lot of power in thinking before saying something, especially when you know it's being recorded, it's being documented, it's going to go on the internet, and it's going to last forever. And I don't care what anyone says. When you say something or do something and you put it up on the internet, it lives forever. Even if you take it down, even if you delete it, even if you cancel your account, somewhere out there in the world, someone's got a copy of your shit. So be mindful of that. I painted this wall blue, and then I got this room divider so I could separate, because I really don't like when you can see someone's bed in the background of a video or a photo. I mean, photos maybe, but when you're teaching something, you want to establish authority. You want to have something official looking. That's why a lot of these applications have the fake backgrounds, or they can blur your background. You could also do a green screen. This is my real house, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. And I don't really want you looking in my kitchen. I don't want you looking under my bed. I don't want you seeing how I make my coffee or what kind of coffee pot I want. I want you to be listening and digesting the topic. That's the main star of the show. The story, the topic, the conversation, the points I'm making. You came here for a reason, and it probably wasn't to criticize what my house looks like. Now, on the flip side, I think this is pretty good. This is a pretty cool looking background. It's interesting because the corner is right where I'm sitting, which I kind of like that because it feels cozy. But I do think I want to get another light to go over here off the camera. And we'll see how this sounds. Now, I will tell you, as a music lover, as a dancer, as somebody who goes to a lot of concerts and music performances and shows, also theater, sound is more important than visual. I'll say that again. The sound is more important than the visual. Even in a video, people will tolerate something maybe being a little granular, the camera angle being slightly off, maybe the visual not being so aesthetic. People will tolerate that if the message is profound, if the story is moving them through a journey, if they feel like they can relate to what is going on, what the material is, what the context is, what the substance is. I call it the meat and potatoes. If you can hold someone's attention with your story, it doesn't matter as much what you look like, what you're wearing, where you're standing. The story is more important. The story is more impactful. The story is more meaningful, especially if it's something potent, profound, and it's something that your audience is like, oh my God, yeah, you're talking to me. So when you're in this process of maybe you want to start creating, and not information, but material, work, creativity, juicy, flowing, whatever that is for you, and you want to do video, remember that the sound is very important. People will leave if they can't understand you, or if the music is too loud. On some of the social apps, when you create content, you can have music playing on top of. It's almost like an added layer. You can select a song or a sound bite and have it playing on top of the original recording. So many times people will put music playing low underneath whatever they're saying. And you and I both know when you get to a video where the music is too loud and you can't really hear what they're saying, what do? You swipe. You move on to the next, or you try to power through, but it's tough. It's rough because you cannot hear what they're saying. On a side note, I will say closed captions are also incredibly important. Please make sure whatever you're putting out into the world, you either put your own captions along the bottom or you make it available to have closed captions and or a transcript. Why? Because we want to be inclusive. We want to make sure that if somebody lands on your thing, that they will stay. So if they can't hear you because they may be hard of hearing, they can read your words, and that's powerful. So again, the visual is important. Keep it clean, keep it tight, keep it professional. The level of polish is really up to you. Make sure that the sound is excellent and make sure that the story that you're telling is powerful and meaningful for somebody watching. Now, again, I'm no expert, but I am willing to go first. And I think that that's powerful. So when you're looking to people, when you're trying to see if you could learn something from someone else, look at their body of work, see what they're putting out there before you take their information or their word right from the first video that you've ever stumbled upon from them. No. We are in a trust recession right now. You cannot tell what is AI, what is not. There's these things called deep fakes where people are putting celebrities' face on someone else's body and it looks so real. So make sure you're careful with that. And again, you're not going to get it perfect the first time. Now, what's cool and the correlation that I see often is, and that I experience, I should say, is that my journey with content creation, with my online business, with offer creation, my newsletter and workshops and low ticket offers and middle ticket offers and high ticket offers and all of this good stuff. My experience with that is just like yours with your weight training. It's hard. It's slow. It takes a lot of reps. It takes an awful amount of time. It takes commitment, discipline, revisiting, making sure you're staying on track, looking back at your why to make sure that you are doing what you need to be doing, not too much, just enough, not too little, to hit the right dose, to keep the momentum going. And just like with your muscles and with going to the gym on a consistent basis, it's really hard to get back into it if you fall off. So even if it's imperfect, even if it's messy, even if it's not ideal, you still got to show up and do something because you're keeping the reps going. So if that's you and you're struggling with the workouts right now, or you're struggling with content creation or creating anything and you really want to get started, my best piece of advice, unsolicited advice to give you is to just start. Because the longer you wait to have all the pieces in place to make sure you're ready and you're getting ready to be ready, you're wasting time and you're not doing anything. You're going to fail. So you might as well just start failing a lot faster and a lot sooner so you can get those out of your system and refine your craft. I'm going to end this here. This was off the cuff. This was a surprise. I'm testing out the studio. Let's see how we like it. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give me a thumbs up. Maybe leave me a comment on YouTube. By the way, if you are listening on Apple, unfortunately, I haven't gotten approved for video podcasts on Apple yet, but I'm hoping in the near future I will get that approval. For now, you can watch me doing this on YouTube and Spotify. I appreciate your time and attention. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one.